Exactly. And today we're looking at something that really blew up online recently.
Yeah, a lottery drawing that's, well, facing some pretty serious accusations of being rigged. A scam, basically.
And the main source we're diving into today is actually a YouTube video transcript someone shared. It really focuses on claims that, first off, this might have been a fake lottery anyway.
Hmm.
And it points to very specific things that happened during the drawing, especially for the big prizes, that raised a lot of questions.
Right. So the source is walking us through the event, showing exactly why people got so upset and started crying foul, saying a scam happened right there, live.
So let's set the scene a bit. This wasn't, small raffle for a toaster. The prizes were substantial.
Yeah, what were we talking about?
Well, the source mentions a house as the grand prize, valued at over 1 crore, which is, that's a lot, over 100,000 US dollars, give or take. Could even be up to 2 crore.
Wow.
And on top of that, a Jimny car, a Bullet motorcycle, an Activa scooter, gold coins too. So yeah, high stakes stuff.
Definitely not small potatoes. And the source, right from the start, emphasizes this idea that the lottery itself might have been, well, illegal or fake in that local context.
Yeah, suggesting the whole premise was maybe shaky from the get-go, even before the actual drawing started.
But the real flashpoint, the thing that got everyone talking and suspicious, according to the source, was the drawing for that top prize, the house.
Right. This is where the source really zooms in. It points to a specific action by the person pulling the winning coupon.
Who was that again?
Identified in the transcript as a blogger, Kunjan Pandikkad. Apparently, he reached his hand way down into this big box, this glass container full of tickets.
Deep down, not just off the top.
No, the source describes him like reaching to the very bottom, almost seemed like he's feeling around. Groping is the word used in the transcript.
Okay, and why was that so suspicious? I mean, you got to pick one from somewhere.
Oh. Well, the source points out there were apparently thousands of coupons piled up. So reaching past all those, right to the bottom, and then searching, it just looked deliberate to people watching.
Ah, okay, not random.
Exactly. The interpretation, as the source reports it, was maybe he was looking for something specific down there, something planted, maybe attached.
Which leads us straight into the theories, right? How could someone even rig it like that?
The main theory the source highlights, coming from the public reaction, was this idea that maybe the winning coupon or coupons were actually stuck to the bottom of the box
Foul.
with some kind of adhesive like glue or tape. And the source actually brings up a comparison here. It mentions a supposed past incident with a chit fund company.
What's a chit fund again?
It's sort of a local savings and credit group system. Anyway, the alleged scam there involved frozen cards that someone could supposedly identify just by touch during the draw.
Okay, so the parallel isn't identical tickets, but making a specific ticket findable.
Exactly. In the old case, maybe by touch. In this lottery theory, the idea is it was stuck to the bottom, findable by location or feel. That specific coupon was somehow made easy to grab from down there.
And the source mentioned adhesives.
Yeah, it went into a little detail saying, there are different types of glues, insulation tapes, things that could potentially stick something to glass and be removed without leaving obvious residue, just suggesting it's, well, technically possible.
Right. So, faced with all this suspicion, what did the guy, Kunjan Pandikkad, say? The source includes his response, right?
Look, it does.
Yeah.
He apparently denied everything, said he's never cheated anyone, never taken anyone's money.
Okay, standard denial. But what about reaching into the box? His reason?
His explanation, according to the transcript, was basically that the glass container was really tall, and with thousands of tickets piled high, he was just trying to make sure he got one from the very bottom, any ticket from down there, instead of just off the top layer.
Did he say anything else?
He also apparently claimed that other people there insisted he be the one to draw the coupon.
Oh. Did the video show that?
Well, the source makes a point of saying that claim isn't actually obvious from the video footage they reviewed.
Interesting. And he addressed the sticker theory.
Yeah, he questioned it, apparently saying that paper would just rip if you tried to pull it off glue like that.
Okay, so he had explanations, but the source and the public weren't buying it.
Largely no, according to the transcript. The main issue highlighted is that, look, whatever his intent might have been, the actions themselves just looked bad.
They look suspicious.
Exactly. They lack that feeling of transparency you expect, just pulling a ticket randomly.
Yeah, and the source also raises the question of whether he should have been drawing it at all, right?
Yeah.
Given he was involved in promoting it.
Precisely. The transcript suggests it would have looked much better, much more impartial, if maybe a little kid or just someone totally unconnected to the event had pulled the main prize ticket.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Avoids any perception of bias.
And there was another detail the source found questionable, too. Apparently, the person who actually donated the house
Yeah.
also drew a coupon for one of the other prizes during the same event.
Wait, the donor drew a prize ticket too?
That's what the source says, and it flags that as kind of going against common sense for how these things should ideally work to maintain fairness.
Okay, so lots of red flags according to the source. Now, it also gets into speculation, right? If this was a scam, how might it actually work? Emphasizing this is speculation from the source.
Right, purely speculative based on the concerns raised. The source suggests a possible scenario could be: first, you somehow identify or pre-select who you want to win.
Okay.
Then, maybe you make a private deal with that person, you let them win the big prize, but they agree to split the value with the organizers or whoever rigged it.
Split it. How much?
The source throws out a number like maybe the organizers take 50 or 60% of the cash value.
Wow. And how would they get the cash? You can't split a house easily.
Well, the speculation includes facilitating a quick sale. Sell the house, sell the car, get the cash money, then divide it up according to the backroom deal.
Right, that would make sense if the goal was cash. Now, what about the winners? Did they all show up? The source mentioned something about that, too.
Yeah, this was another point of controversy noted in the transcript. Apparently, there was some difficulty getting a couple of the winners to appear publicly right away.
Which ones?
The winner of the Jimny car and another winner who got some kind of load-carrying vehicle, they reportedly said they were just too busy to come immediately.
Too busy to collect a free car.
That's what struck the source as suspicious, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Given the value, you'd think people would drop everything.
You would think. Did the house winner show up?
Yes, the source does note the house winner did eventually appear publicly.
Okay. And did they say anything?
They confirmed they'd bought 13 tickets apparently shared with friends and mentioned they worked in interlocking.
Interlocking.
Yeah, it's a type of construction, like laying paving stones. So that winner did materialize.
Okay. So, looking bigger picture now, the source connects this back to the blogger involved.
It does. The transcript includes criticism of Kunjan Pandikkad for even promoting this event, citing what it calls his history of controversies.
And there's a warning in there, too, wasn't there?
Yeah.
About this becoming a trend.
Yes, a significant concern raised is that the source sees other online influencers starting to promote similar kinds of lottery events.
Oh.
Yeah, the source expresses worry this might be like a growing thing, maybe even a coordinated group using the word gang.
A gang running lotteries. That sounds serious.
It's a strong claim in the source material, definitely.
Did the source mention reactions to their own video about this?
Briefly, yes. They said they got negative feedback, even personal attacks, but basically dismissed it as noise from people who didn't understand their stance against what they see as an illegal or highly questionable activity.
Gotcha. And the final takeaway, the warning from the source.
It's pretty stark. The source explicitly tells viewers, listeners, people like you, to be incredibly careful about joining these kinds of lotteries.
Why? Just because you might lose money.
It goes beyond that. The source states that if these things escalate, if they become legal cases, even people who just bought tickets could potentially find themselves in trouble, facing problems just for participating.
Wow. Okay. That's a serious warning. So let's just recap what the source laid out here in this deep dive.
Okay.
We heard claims the lottery itself might have been illegal. Then the specific actions during the drawing reaching deep, searching at the bottom, that really fueled public suspicion of rigging.
Right, and the theory about how that might have worked, possibly using stickers or glue at the bottom of the box.
Plus the questions around some winners not showing up immediately and the general concerns about transparency and who was doing the drawing.
And finally, those warnings about this maybe being a growing trend and the potential risks even for participants if legal issues arise.
Yeah. The source definitely presents these as very real public concerns and serious allegations, and while the person at the center offered explanations.
The transcript makes it clear that the doubt, the controversy, it hasn't gone away, especially around how that drawing actually looked.
It really makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We see so many promotions, contests, giveaways online now. Things spread so fast.
Mm-hmm.
How can you, listening right now, tell what's legitimate and what might be, well, dodgy? Especially when, like here, there are maybe questionable signs, but also plausible denials.
It's tough.
What level of transparency do we really need to see to feel confident?
Yeah.
To actually trust that a public drawing, especially with big stakes, is truly fair and random. Something to definitely mull over.